What's going on, guys? Welcome to a random Sunday night live stream. But last night, and I still got so much to work on. Last night, we got a bunch of breaking news. And yesterday, really not even last night, Francis Ngannou has left the UFC. He's officially a free agent. Ciryl Gane versus Jon Jones is the official UFC 285 main event in March. You also have Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman confirmed for 286. You also have Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev confirmed as well. A lot of news has dropped in the last 24 hours. And I've been asked through the Discord, through the members' Discord, to do a stream tonight. I've been working on a bunch of videos basically since last night, nonstop. I have a video I'm going to release at the end of this stream, actually. So you guys can look forward to that. You guys will be the first ones to see that. I have a bunch of videos on the channel right now. If you haven't checked them out, the real reason Francis Ngannou left the UFC, that is out on the channel. I released that maybe 2 hours ago, I believe. I released a video about Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman 3, reaction, early prediction. I have my UFC Vegas 67, Sean Strickland, Nasruddin Imavov post-fight is out. And I also have my reaction to the initial news, Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane. So it's all out on the channel. It's a bunch of stuff. And as I end this stream a little bit later, I'm going to release my Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev reaction and early prediction. Just uploaded it maybe 30 minutes ago. Nah, probably like an hour ago. I uploaded it. I have not released it yet because I've been releasing nonstop videos. But because of all the news, I know there's a lot going on right now. There's the NFL playoffs, so I don't know how many people are going to tune into this. But because there's so much news, and because I've been requested on the members Discord, how could I not jump on a stream for a little bit? As always, guys, do me a favor. Like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're finally back next week as UFC 283, the first pay-per-view in over a month. That is crazy. It's been a month since UFC 282. So it's felt like forever. I will have UFC 283 predictions coming out soon, which I'm going to try to work on tonight. But I want to watch The Last of Us is debuting on HBO. I want to watch that. It's actually debuting right now. So there's so much stuff going on right now, but I hopefully should have Jamal Hill, Glover Teixeira prediction and breakdown out tomorrow. Hopefully Figgy Moreno 4 prediction and breakdown as well. But nonetheless, a bunch of stuff will be on the channel. A bunch of stuff is already on the channel. So if you're not caught up, go catch up after this stream. Okay, so right now, by the way, guys, we currently have 6,626 subscribers. That is crazy. But what's going on? Constantly growing. Excited AF for Jones versus Gane and homework. What's up? What's going on, guys? Appreciate you for joining me. I know there's a lot going on right now with the NFL playoffs and whatnot, so I appreciate you. I guess you guys ain't watching football, or you're watching the stream and watching football. I've said this, and I've done 2 videos on the topic, basically, in a way, of Ciryl Gane versus Jon Jones. I'm super excited for that matchup. That is a massive fight. I cannot wait for Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane. But at the same time, I'm equally disappointed because I'm just so disappointed that we're not getting Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou. It just sucks terribly because that was just a fight that a lot of people were looking forward to. And Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane is a massive fight. Probably the biggest fight in the last few years, honestly. I can't think of a bigger fight. Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, what was a bigger fight than Ciryl Gane and Jon Jones? Over the past few years, I can't name one, really. This is the biggest fight in a while. The return of Jon Jones after 3 years off. There's many fans who have never even seen Jon Jones fight live. So it's going to be very interesting because Ciryl Gane, from the time I saw his UFC debut, I thought he'd be a future champion in the heavyweight division. And he's super well-rounded. And just, I mean, overall, Ciryl Gane is like that new breed of heavyweight. Light on his feet, moves well, strikes well, has submissions, has decent grappling. And Jon Jones is a massive question mark. To be honest, Jon Jones is a massive question mark. I picked him. I'm going to pick him as an early prediction But having off 3 years, changing a weight class, I mean, there couldn't be a bigger question mark in MMA right now than Johnny Bones Jones returning in March of 2023, considering he last fought in February of 2020. I mean, that is crazy. The last time Jon Jones had fought, I seen this, somebody tweet this out earlier. The last time Jon Jones fought, Kobe Bryant had just died, basically, a couple weeks prior. That's how long that Jon Jones has been out. And even in, I'm going to pull up his resume real quick. Even if you look, in that last Dominic Reyes fight, didn't look all that great. The fight before that against Thiago Santos, who's no longer with the UFC. I mean, Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes' careers are basically over at this point. Absolutely, basically over at this point. Dominic Reyes is a punching bag. And Thiago Santos lost a bunch of fights, gone to PFL. So a lot of this competition he fought, Gustafsson's basically retired. I know, what did he come back against? Krylov? He's on a 4-fight losing streak. The guys that Jon Jones has beaten are all basically retired outside of Glover Teixeira. Yeah, pretty much everyone. That's crazy. Wait a second. Dominic Reyes, I don't want to say he's retired, but might as well be retired. Thiago Santos is gone in PFL. Anthony Smith still kind of relevant. Gustafsson basically retired. Daniel Cormier retired. Ovince St. Preux might as well be retired. Glover Teixeira fighting for a title in the light heavyweight division. So that's still pretty crazy. Chael Sonnen gone. Vitor Belfort gone. Rashad Evans gone. So the only real guys who are still hanging around that are on Jon Jones' resume are Glover Teixeira and Anthony Smith. And I feel like you can look back and play a little bit of revisionist history. But at the time Jon Jones went through these guys, I mean, they were all very, very good. And a lot of people were picking them to beat Jon Jones. But to have 3 years off, to not look that great, even in your last 3 fights, he didn't look great in the Dominic Reyes fight. Very close fight. Didn't look good in the Thiago Santos fights, considering Santos had 2 blown ACLs. And the Anthony Smith fight was a dominant win, but, it wasn't super impressive. The last time he looked really impressive was, oh my God, damn near 5 years ago. I mean, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but basically 4 years ago in December of 2018 against Gustafsson in the rematch. But Gustafsson's fallen off a cliff. So there's not a bigger question mark in MMA than the return of Jon Jones. But if you've watched him for long enough, he consistently rises to the occasion. And that's why I'm picking him. That's why I was going to pick him against Francis Ngannou. He consistently rises to the occasion. Every time you think he's going to lose or you think he has the toughest matchup, he somehow makes it look easy. So that paired with the fact that Ciryl Gane's not a KO puncher, that paired with the fact Ciryl Gane doesn't have the greatest wrestling defense. We've seen Ngannou exploit it. Jon Jones has amazing takedowns, great top control, great ground and pound. I got to go with Jon Jones. So, yeah, I'm going Jon Jones for an early prediction. If you guys haven't checked out those videos, I highly recommend them. I go in depth on basically everything on the recent Francis Ngannou videos. The one that's most recent on my channel, which is doing really well. I appreciate you guys watching it. We're almost to 1,000 views. It's only been out for 3 hours. I thought it was out for like 2 hours, but it's been out for 3 hours, almost to 1,000 views already. And then the other one is the Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane UFC 285 leaked. Main event leaked. So go check out that one. That one did pretty well as well, even though I released that as the fights were going on. So I feel like a lot of people were watching the fights and didn't watch the video. But in the last 24 hours, I've released 4 videos and a live stream, and I have a 5th video coming out, and then this is a 2nd live stream. So essentially in the last 24 hours, you've gotten 5 videos and 2 live streams out of the channel. But yeah, that's basically my take. I'm sure we'll talk about it more in this stream. This stream is primarily going to be focused on Ciryl Gane versus Jon Jones and the departure of Francis Ngannou. But feel free to throw any questions in the chat, guys. If you have any questions. Where was I at? Imagine Figgy and Moreno fight to a draw. Oh my goodness. That would be really awful. That would be really awful, because then you have to run it back for a 5th time. You have to run it back for a 5th time. Jay Cutler and the Bears broke my back in 2014. I don't watch football anymore. For me, I used to be a massive football fan. It's hard for me to keep up with it, especially considering how religiously I follow MMA. there's not enough time in the day to follow football. Like, I'm either all in or all out. That's my look at it. So, yeah, I mean, the Bears, crazy Jay Cutler. I haven't heard his name in years. Sorry, Joey, I told you. I hope Francis gets paid, but I don't think he's a bigger draw than what he is. I'm not saying Francis is some massive draw, but I hope he gets paid as well. And until we know some of the numbers, we'll see what he gets paid outside the UFC. So, hey, Joey, completely agree, man. Truly got it, but still highly anticipating the return of Johnny Bones Jones. What's up, Bobby? I'm pretty sure you tweeted to me. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before. Did you just find the channel? But nonetheless, appreciate the shout out in the tweet. And I'm gutted as well, but I agree with you 100%. I'm still highly anticipating the return of Johnny Bones Jones. I thought they were going to do Jon Jones versus Blades if Francis versus Jones didn't work out. From what I'm seeing, apparently they thought Ciryl Gane was going to be not ready by the time they wanted. Jon Bones Jones was fighting on March, regardless of what happened with Francis Ngannou. So basically, they had Curtis Blades as the backup, but then they found out Ciryl Gane would be healthy, so they decided to go with Ciryl Gane. So, there you go. JJ Smoke is here. What up? What's going on? I honestly thought he lost to Reyes watching it live. I mean, it could have went either way. Hey, Joey, what's up? What's going on, bed? Shogun is here for another week. That is crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me. He's still fighting. I'm a Jon Jones fan, but it's going to be his toughest fight of his career. Ciryl, the one heavyweight I didn't want him to start off his heavyweight career with. Dude, Ciryl Gane's going to be a tough test for anyone in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Jones does. A very, very tough test, though, nonetheless. Jones was way ahead of the sport, and I feel like they've just caught up to him skill-wise now. That's why they're looking worse lately, but I'm working. But I think working with Cejudo will help him improve to beat Gane. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell, my friend. You don't train with a certain fighter, and then automatically they rub off onto you. What's up, Joey? What's up, Anthony? Why are the rumors saying the chick won't show up to fight Josiane Nunes? She hasn't won since 2017. No chance winning. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that at all, so I have no idea. I can't answer that one. What do you think is Jones as an underdog against Gane? I think it makes sense. Jones is out for 3 years. How can you know 3 years coming back to a different weight class? I don't know how you could favor him, but I do as well. I know what you're saying, but I wouldn't if I was making the odds. I don't know. Joey, I'm flying to Brazil to have a word with the commissioner who sanctioned the Shogun fight. Obviously joking. Yeah. I mean, Shogun has taken so much damage recently. Or not recently, but just over the course of his career. It's sad that he's still fighting. Now that we've gotten Jones versus Gane, how do you see a pure kickboxing exchanges going? Very interesting to me. That's going to be very interesting because both guys are very good at managing the range. I feel like Ciryl Gane's going to have the edge, but Jones just finds a way. Just finds a way to look good in the striking against everyone. Like, he finds ways to make guys look bad on the feet. So I think Gane will have the slight edge, but Jones will work in the grappling. Could you see potentially Francis come back to the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Very slim possibility. It's possible, but very slim. Been a fan for a while, man. Thank you. Just recently more active in the chat and on socials. Love the channel. Respect the hustle. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. I really do. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate the shout out online. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I'm glad you've been watching the channel. I don't know. It's been a lot going on in the past 24 hours. UFC fight San Antonio main event prediction. I'm hoping Blades versus Pavlovich. Hopefully Charles versus Beneil. I'm going Blades Pavlovich at this point in time. Because I was going Gane Pavlovich before, and now I'm going Blades Pavlovich. Have you heard Dana's new endeavor? He's starting Power Nutshot Championship where they hit each other in nuts. Can't wait. I'm going to be tuning in every week. Given that Jones versus Gane is official, is there any other obvious fight to make than Blades Sergey? Or does the winner between Jones and Gane fight Stipe? As far as Stipe calling for a title shot, he's electing to sit out for over 2 years. And every time Stipe's lost a belt, He's just sat out and waited for his rematch. I don't want to see Stipe fighting for the belt. He doesn't deserve to. You got brutally flatlined KO by Ngannou. I think, if anything, book Blades versus Sergey for the #1 contender. Or if Stipe really wants it, book Stipe versus Sergey for #1 contender. If Stipe beats Sergey, he can get another shot. But I don't want to see Stipe just return to a title shot. Absolutely not. Hey, Joey, highly appreciate your work here. Do you think Gane is a better matchup for Jones instead of bigger, heavier Ngannou, or do you think the speed of Gane is going to give him the edge? I think Gane is a little bit tougher challenge just because of the speed and the well-roundedness. But Ngannou being so big and heavy and strong and powerful. But after that second round, Ngannou becomes a different beast, and I didn't think Ngannou was going to be able to sit there and take down Jon Jones and hold him down. So I will say Gane is a more difficult matchup, but just barely because they're both so vastly different. It's so vastly different fights. What's up, Merk Lee? Appreciate you coming to the stream. Greatly appreciate you. I see Jones versus Ciryl maybe fighting a couple times because it looks like they're ahead of everyone in the division. Pavlovich is going to show up in there too. He's going to show up in there as well. I think Pavlovich is going to make some waves in the division. So, but yeah, I think Jones and Ciryl will probably fight multiple times. Francis looking like an Olympian is something that I can't get out of my head. Imagine what Jon Jones going to do, you know. Let's go Bones. It's going to be very, very interesting. For sure. But, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's why I favor Jon Jones to out wrestle Gane. People that don't even watch MMA will be betting heavy on Jones because of the close odd. Watch Gane smash him. Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't pay too close attention to that, but we'll find out. How much do you think Bones is going to weigh in, and how much do you think during fight night? I think he'll weigh in and be the same weight on fight night. And I think probably, I'm going to say 245. Jones will weigh in at 245. 250 maybe, a max, I would say. That's what I would guess. Somewhere around there, 245, 250. I don't think he's going to come in at 230. But I think regardless, it'll be around that weight. Jones is an inferior striker to Gane, lacks traditional knockout power, and doesn't have conditioning to grapple as he did when he was a younger man. I mean, you don't know that. You don't know that. Because Jones is a super unorthodox striker. He finds a way to land. He's not your traditional boxer or kickboxer like Ciryl Gane is. He does lack the power, but you don't know what his knockout power may or may not look like at 265 pounds, okay? So you don't know that, and doesn't have conditioning to grapple. Definition of you don't know that. There's no evidence of that, and it's been 3 years, and he's moving up a weight class. So they could all prove to be true, or none of them can prove to be true. Jones arguably lost his last 2 fights at light heavyweight and definitely would have lost his last fight if not for incompetent judging. I mean, I think it was close enough. It could have went either way. Stipe would have beat Ngannou if he wasn't 220 pounds and in a smaller octagon. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have. He beat him before, but guess what? Francis Ngannou improved the wrestling. That's what sucks. Ngannou was just starting to come into his prime, I feel like. The takedown defense against Stipe Miocic, and then on top of that, the offensive wrestling against Ciryl Gane was super impressive. Do you feel like Blades has another chance for a title run now with Francis gone? I don't know. I just don't trust Curtis Blades' chin. But the heavyweight division is not very stacked to begin with. So yes. Yes, think about it. Let's say Ciryl Gane beats up Jon Jones and dominates him. Jon Jones is now out of the picture. You basically have a 3-people division. Blades, Pavlovich, and Gane. So, does Gaethje get knocked out cold by Fiziev? Maybe. I'm releasing a video discussing Gaethje versus Fiziev. As soon as I end this stream, I'm releasing that on the channel. So that will be out tonight for you guys. So before I even end the stream, I'll post a link in the chat. So, Did you hear that Jones signed an 8-fight deal? Given that Jones isn't what he would be described as an active fighter, what would be your professional opinion regarding the odds he fights up? He will not fight 8 times. He will not fight 8 times. No way. The UFC just likes to lock guys up for long term because they can cut them at any time. Hi, Joey. What's up, Sam? Hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Hope the best for Francis, and I don't understand how the organization, besides boxing, could offer what the UFC has already offered him. We will find out. I said in my video, I think he's looking for one big payday from boxing, and then he'll go sign with another MMA organization. That's my best guess. That is my best guess on that scenario. So we'll see what happens, but I think he tries to get one big payday from boxing, maybe like a $10 or $15 million payday, and then sign with MMA promotion, beating up bums. Hope the best for Francis, but I don't understand. Okay, already read that. I thought the poster at T-Mobile was fake. It was not. That's why I made a video on it before it was even official, because I knew it wasn't fake. So, yeah. That's why I did a video early yesterday, even though it wasn't currently confirmed, and I said in that video. What's up to all my receding hairlines? What's going on, my friend? What's up? Umar versus O'Malley, who wins? I'm going Umar all the way. But it'd be very interesting because sometimes Umar gets sloppy on the feet. But I think the grappling, the well-roundedness would favor Umar, but O'Malley could sleep him. Just got back from San Diego where my wife ran her first full marathon. Placed 5th in her age group. That's pretty cool. Congrats. Ciryl is John's toughest test. In my opinion, I still got Jones winning, though. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the most well-rounded fighter in the heavyweight division. What do you think is next for Francis? I just discussed it. Probably one big payday boxing and then sign with a low-level MMA promotion like PFL or Bellator. Or maybe even a bare knuckle boxing. I couldn't think of it for some reason. What do you think is next for Francis? Already read that. If somehow, some way, BKFC gets him, they need to have a casket ready by the ring. Straight up criminal to have him in there. Dude, imagine signing to fight. Imagine signing to fight Francis Ngannou in a bare knuckle boxing match. You got to be out of your damn mind. You have to be out of your damn mind. There's no way. Yeah, someone would die. Tom Aspinall versus Gane prediction. Before the injury, I would pick Tom Aspinall, but now I'm not sure because I don't know how to the extent of the injury and I don't know how he's recovering. So I'll probably say Gane. I'll be at UFC 285. If anybody else, let me know. Let's meet up. There you go. If anybody wants to meet up at 285. Holy shit, I forgot about Aspinall. Damn, him versus Jones is a realistic possibility. That is true. That is very, very true. But Aspinall's got to get some wins under his belt now. Would Song Yadong versus Umar make sense? Yes. I think they should make that fight. I don't even want it at the Apex, though. I want it like a fight night main event. Dana was sipping on Logan Paul's prime hydration drink during the press conference. What does this mean? It means nothing. It means nothing. But yeah, who knows? Maybe he's in with some scam that the Paul brothers are up to now. Help him promoting some scam. Dude, the Francis first Overeem KO would have knocked out most people. Most people to Mars. Yes, it was nasty. That uppercut was sick. Watch BKFC put him up against Bigfoot Silva. Don't you dare even suggest that. Don't you dare even suggest that. Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, it'll happen. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's probably a big payday for Tyson Fury, too. And he's going to dominate him. Tito Ortiz. That'd be I'd pay for it, for sure. Give me Francis Ngannou versus Tito Ortiz. Give me Francis Ngannou, Tito Ortiz in bare knuckle boxing. Will UFC Africa ever happen now? Yeah, but I mean, it was never in the forefront. People kept saying UFC Africa this and UFC Africa that. It wasn't going to happen for years anyway. You can find live streams of me a year ago saying that. It probably won't happen till, I would say, like late 2024, 2025, 2026, somewhere around there. It's not going to happen for another 2-3 years. I don't know why people are so focused on UFC Africa. Like, it's definitely going to happen soon. People have been doing that for like a year now. People forget that Pavlovich lost to Overeem in round 1. Volkov beat him. Why Pavlovich versus Volkov at this point? Because Pavlovich has improved vastly since then. And he got out-grappled by Overeem. Not outstruck. But Pavlovich definitely is super one-dimensional. So Dana looks like a complete clown. The more he talks about his wife slapping situation, Akamoto sounded like a dweeb too. Yeah, Akamoto, he's a UFC shill, and he's trying to put on now the front that he's asking the tough questions. When Dana said, "What should my punishment be?" he should have said, "Well, I think there should be some type of monetary consequence for it." But I don't know, man. I don't know. What's your rarest MMA DVD? I do not have any MMA DVDs. A real Orion for Francis would be WWE. Could see him doing a one-off at WrestleMania this year. I hope not. I don't know. How much money is he going to make from that? I have no idea. I might go to UFC Fight Night San Antonio. Hopefully it's a badass main event. There's a lot of people who live in Texas who might go, who follow the channel. So I hope you do, and I hope it's a badass main event. Who wins, Usman or Hamzat? Hamzat. Tito Ortiz versus Brendan Schaub in a match to see who can write the alphabet correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure who would win that one. And now it won't happen with all three African champions. It was never going to happen with all three. What do you think of $1 million 16-man open weight Muay Thai tournament? That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. I'll probably keep an eye on it. Thoughts on San Antonio card so far? Let me look it up real quick. There's not a lot of fights announced for it yet, is there? Where is it at? It's not on. Oh, here it is. So far, it's straight up garbage. The best fight is Alex Perez versus Manel Kape. Alex Caceres, Nate Landwehr is pretty good. Sean Brady, Michelle Pereira is pretty good. But, it's looking pretty deficient right now. What's up, Joey? Rewatch some of your watch along good stuff. Appreciate you, Billy. Billy L, thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I always wonder how many people will go back and watch the reactions. So I do appreciate you doing that. 2022 really was the year that killed the UFC Africa hype. There was nothing ever to that, though. What's up, Joey? What's up, Biscuit Farm? I hope you're doing well. It's starting to sink in that we also won't see Hamzat versus Colby. I was hoping that would be co-main event to Jones versus Francis. Dude, I don't think Colby's ever leaving witness protection. What's up, Sobro? Deontay Wilder has more power than Francis, and Tyson was able to handle Deontay Wilder's power. Francis will lose to Tyson without a doubt, and Francis will lose to Deontay if that happens. Okay. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. I could see Blades finishing Pavlovich late with ground and pound. Yeah, I would pick Blades over Pavlovich, but you never know. Has Brett Okamoto always been at the post-fight pressers? He is for the pay-per-views, usually. What's next for Charles Jourdain? I have no idea. Honestly, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head at 45. March is going to be a month for the ages. That it is. Who's ready for Ngannou versus Chisora? I don't know. Do you think there's anywhere to even hold an event in Africa? I have no clue. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that people just blew up because Dana White mentioned it one time. MMA gods, give us Francis versus Brendan in literally anything. Yeah, let's watch Francis versus Brendan Schaub bare knuckle boxing. 284 looking mid. That is true. That is true. That is very, very true. Who do you think is going to fight for the bantamweight title? It's going to end up being either Cejudo. It's probably going to be Cejudo versus Aljamain in April. If not, it'll be O'Malley versus Cejudo for an interim belt. Seeing as Rafael versus Gaethje is co-main at 286, they'll most likely have Pavlovich versus Blades co-main at 285. Would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. And that'd be a great matchup to make. They should have had Adrian Yanez versus Font on the San Antonio card. Yeah, I talked about that in my video about it. They should have. Yanez wanted it, but it ultimately didn't come to fruition. Rob Font needed more time. Rip Colby. Also, I think Max was in Las Vegas recently. Yeah, I'm wondering if Max is going to get a new fight soon. I'm very curious if Max ends up with a new fight soon. Because, I mean, he fought in July of last year. He's got to be fighting again soon, right? Right? I would think. Okay. Guys, keep throwing questions in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And it's UFC 283 fight week. So I'll be doing a bunch of streams this week. Colby's a bum if he doesn't fight Hamza, I'm assuming. Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate. Will Vettori have anything to offer Roman Dolidze who wins? I'm leaning Roman Dolidze now the more I think about it. He just looks so good in his last fight. But I don't know. Vettori's made of steel. Boxers' powers more than MMA fighters. Chael Sonnen explained. Anything Chael Sonnen said, I believe the opposite. If Fury versus Francis happens, they should do it with MMA gloves just to give Francis a slight edge and for entertainment. Fury probably smokes him, but it should be a multi-million-dollar payday. It'd be very interesting. I'm not buying it, though. I'm just happy we can stop hearing "So wins UFC Africa" every post-fight presser. Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. March is stacked. I agree. I think the problem is let Francis box is that belt would be almost 2 years without being defended because even before his injury, Francis only fought once a year. Yeah, but not necessarily his fault. It wasn't his fault, though. The only 2022 was his fault. 2021 and 2020 were not his fault. The reason he was inactive, it was the UFC's fault. Directly the UFC's fault. And I talked about that in my most recent video. Go check it out after this stream. I go in depth about what was really going on in those years. Because a lot of people forget. But moving on. Let me see. Max too big for bantamweight. Yeah, he ain't moving to bantamweight, no. Mike Mallet versus Johan Liness. Who wins? I'll say Johan Liness. I can't remember if you pronounce it in Linessi or Liness. I think it's Linus. I don't know. But I'm going Johan. 125 has no champ. 135 champ hurt. 145 going up to fight 155. No 205 champ or heavyweight champ. Adden Baroni, Dana situation, Bonner, and Francis leaving. I think this is a pivotal time for the UFC. It is super unfortunate right now. It's a shitty time. It's 2023. The tail end of 2022 has been a shitty time to be a UFC fan. That's for sure. Do you think McGregor can beat Chandler or Gaethje at this point? I think he could beat either one, especially if he's juiced up. Is Jack Della on the Perth card? Yes, he's on the main card. Do you think Leon will beat Usman again? No. I favor Usman. Who should fight next? Who fight next? You were streaming Lewis versus Spivak, right? I'm probably not even watching Lewis versus Spivak. That card is one of the most embarrassing cards I've ever seen in my entire life. And the fact they're putting it on at 1 a.m., I don't think I can watch it, to be honest. I genuinely don't think I can watch it. I may skip that card completely. I may not even do a prediction video for it. I just see how smaller MMA organizations will be able to pay Francis, let alone have their people in their roster that would be willing to fight him. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see what happens. I agree. Max could not move down to bantamweight. I agree. You don't like Chael? How come? Because he's an idiot. What's your guess on co-main event for Jon Jones? Oliveira Dariush hopefully saves the card. Saves the card. It could be Curtis Blades versus Sergey Pavlovich. Could be something along those lines. Could be Oliveira. I think they're going to stack that card. It's already got great fights on it. I mean, you look at that card right now, it's just absolutely filthy. Let's take a look. I clicked on UFC, and why is it not showing me UFC? We got Jon Jones, Ciryl Gane. We got Derek Brunson, Dracus Duplessis, Jeff Neal, Shavkat Rachmanov, Jamie Pickett, Bo Pickle. We call him Pickle on this channel. It's Bo Nickel. Cody Garbrandt, Julio Arce. And I mean, it's already getting pretty stacked right now, especially with that main event. You throw on Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades. You throw on Umar Nurmagomedov fighting like a Ricky Simone. It's gonna be sick for sure. So, yeah, that's a nasty card, but something along those lines. The only person Dana didn't disrespect on the way out was Ronda. He smack talks everyone else. That he does. Joey, did Umar's last performance make you a believer in his championship aspirations? I was a believer before that. So definitely. Now he's adding knockout power to his arsenal, finishing durable guys. Yes. 125 has a champ. I know. Imagine if they feed Cruz to Umar. That would be devastating. What's up, Tommy? This start of the year has better fights than the start of the year last year's fights. This start of the year has better fights than the start of the year last year's fights. Okay. I don't remember. I don't think so, though. Tim Red Hawk Welsh should come back to Bellator and fight Dylan Dennis. Dude, we're not even talking about that guy on the channel. I mean, the guy's not even a fighter. Give me Umar versus Merab so we can get our revenge for screwing over Aldo. That would be very interesting. That'd be a very interesting matchup. Fight Life, you won't disrespect the cash cow. Yeah, maybe. Less than 30 days from Volk versus Islam. That is very true. I'm going to sleep through the Lewis versus Spivak card. I literally may skip it. Chael is a challenged individual that he is. You don't see the return of Doi Hoi Choi. After getting destroyed by Jourdain, looks like he's up against another Canadian, Kyle Nelson. I mean, I do, but that card's garbage. Well, 284 is shit. It was good at one point in time, but we lost Paulo Costa versus Robert Whitaker. We lost Alex Perez versus Brandon Royval, I think it was. So, it's super unfortunate, for sure. It's crazy to think there's only been 2 women's flyweight champs in the last 5 to 6 years. 2 women's flyweight champs. Oh, because you had, what's her name? I want to say she's cut from the UFC. First women's UFC flyweight. They crowned her off the Ultimate Fighter. Nico Montana, and she never defended her belt. And she's not in the UFC anymore. Craziness. She lost to Juliana Pena in 2019, but she won the belt. That's crazy. It's crazy she's a champion. I can't even remember her name. That's crazy to me. Thank God that Ngannou is gone. Is out. Dude's tied up the division way too long. Not his fault, other than, the ACL injury. Fiziev is the underdog, surprisingly. That is surprising. Do you think Beneil will fight Oliveira when he could wait for a title shot? I think Beneil will do whatever the UFC wants. How much money do you think Masvidal made during his lightning in the bottle 2019, then ended up losing it all, I'm sure? I don't know. My guess is he made a couple million. Am I the only one that thinks Gane is going to maul Jones? Yes, and he used maul the wrong way in reference to MMA. So, just a heads up. Lewis versus Spivak is a prelim headliner at best. Thank you. I agree. 285 is looking stacked. That it is. Jack Della Maddalena boxing looks crisp. How does he finish Randy Brown in what round? I'll say he finishes him with a right hand in the first round. Tail end of the first round. I don't think Randy Brown's that good. People try to hype him up like he's good. I don't think he's that good at all. Remember when Kayla Harrison was a thing? That I do. Seeing a lot of people pick Usman. Do you agree with the majority? Yes. What was the point of Eagle FC? Is it officially gone now that Habib is retired? I mean, it seems like it's gone bankrupt, which I told you guys over a year ago that I thought it might. Um, Terrible run organization, and it seems like it's done for, but we don't know. I think Habib is the only guy apart from Ronda that Dana didn't talk shit on his way out. Maybe. Dana's always saying this guy doesn't want to fight, and that guy doesn't want to fight, and this guy doesn't want to fight, and it's cue for they didn't want to fight for the amount of money that we offered. That's all that he is saying. That's all that he is saying there. This guy did not want to fight for the amount of money that we offered him. That's it. I think Fiziev knocks Gaethje out in the first round. Would not surprise me. Fiziev is filthy. I'm releasing a video at the end of this stream for that. Kind of pissed me off that Stipe tweeted he wants the winner in July. Dude, Stipe, you're retired, dude. You're electing to sit out for over 2 years, and now you want the winner? That's all he does. He just sits out and waits for a heavyweight championship opportunity. He did it after he lost the belt in July of, 2019? Against DC. He just sat out and sat out and sat out until eventually he got a rematch. Didn't fight anyone in the meantime. Gane will KO Jones. I don't know. Gane doesn't really have that finishing power. Francis only took him down because of the size, and John struggled taking down Reyes, and he's been inactive. We'll see. We haven't seen Jones at heavyweight yet. So it's hard to say what he's liable to do. Umar versus Merab is the fight to make. Sign me up for that one. We already talked about that a little bit earlier. That would be such an interesting matchup because Umar is a very good grappler, but a very good kicker and striker on top of it, and his hands have been much improved. Merab's striking is awful, but he has great cardio and great grappling. I don't know if it's the play for. I don't know if this is the play for Ngannou. Is he going to do PFL tournaments for $1 million? No. He would have made more than $1 million. I would think the UFC would offer him that. Kevin Lee's a bum for struggling with Diego up a weight class. Yeah. That's true. Stipe is basically dead weight in the rankings. Yeah, Stipe should have been removed from the rankings. Rafael Fiziev is so good at fighting. His combination on the Moicano. Yeah, the Moicano fight was nasty. I've been a big believer in Fiziev for a while. I think he's championship material. What is the correct maul for MMA? No, I'm saying he says maul anytime someone wins a fight. But maul is used as an expression for being taken down and beaten up. That's maul. Destroying a guy on the ground is mauling them. And he just uses it for any fight. He said Sean O'Malley mauled Piotr Jan, which is a joke in general, regardless of how you're using it. Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter will be a classic ham and egg slugfest. Okay. The Volk versus Islam card is underwhelming. That it is. It's super underwhelming. Let me take a look at it real quick. It's really looking ugly and making me depressed because it was so good. It was so good. And now it's so ugly. Yeah, it's basically top 2 fights. It's top heavy. Yeah, it's ugly as hell. Basically, Yair Josh Emmett, Makhachev, Volkanovski. Garbage card underneath of it. I mean, Randy Brown, Jack Della Maddalena, Jimmy Crute, Alonzo Menifield, Justin Tafa, Parker Porter. Yeah, I am not impressed whatsoever. I am not impressed whatsoever. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not liked this stream yet, like the stream. Also, if you're watching the channel and you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right this very second. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. I should have already been there by now, but because of the last month, it's slowed down drastically with no fights going on. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So it's crazy we got so much news in the last day. And I'll be streaming a bunch this week too. Because UFC 283 is this Saturday. I'll probably stream at least, I would say 3 times. I'm definitely streaming Wednesday. I'm definitely streaming Friday. And I'll probably stream one other day, or maybe twice in one day at some point. Something along those lines. I think Umar fights Pedro Munoz next. Wouldn't surprise me. It's obviously he only wants to fight for championships, but that's not how it works. But get in line. Winner of Blades versus Pavlovich gets the fight. It doesn't happen. Give it to Blades. I agree 150%. Kevin Lee's done. His mental game is shot. Yeah, Kevin Lee's been done for years, it seems like. Kane was a mauler, that he was. I consider Habib versus Barboza mauling, not what Sean did. Agreed. Taking Rob versus Paulo and Kai Kara France versus Perez off the card from MMA fans like taking candy from a baby. Yeah, it's disgusting. Stipe would get KO'd by anyone, probably at this point. 283 and 284 are a bit underwhelming, but 285 and 286 picking it back up. Agreed. Time is going to be, these events are going to be here before we even know it, which is wild. Not sure why you're not impressed with that card full of Aussie Kiwis who come to bang. Okay, Joey, are you planning on attending any cards this year? I'll meet you at whichever one you go to. I have no idea. I haven't decided yet. There's a chance. There's not a chance. I got a lot of stuff going on at home, so I don't know if I'm ready to go to a card yet. Plus, it has to be the right card. I wanted to go to a Jones and Ngannou card, but there's always stuff to do, and I'm not just going for one day. I got to go for like a couple days. I got a dog that I got to take care of. But I would say if I don't go to one this year, I'll probably go to one next year. It's surreal seeing Jones officially fighting again. That is true. It is surreal. There's a lot of fans who've never seen him fight. And saying that Fiziev is an underdog, that is crazy. I'm shocked by that. Hey, Joey, be real. Do you think you have an O'Malley biased? How do you think Umar O'Malley goes? Do I have an O'Malley bias? I don't believe I have an O'Malley bias when assessing his skill set. No, I don't. Definitely, fringe don't like him, especially the way he's been acting, over the past 6 months or so, especially after the Piotr Jan win, but not when it comes to assessing fights. I think him and Umar would be very interesting because I think Umar could out-grapple him, but Umar gets a little sloppy on the feet, so I could see O'Malley catching him. Stipe looks like he's never had his dentures in at all times. Yeah, he talks like Boomhauer from King of the Hill, too. Aljamain versus Umar, what happens? I'll pick Umar. Outstrikes him on the feet, but that'd be interesting, too. Joe, do you think Khamzat Colby at this point will ever fight? I'm starting to think it won't happen. I hope it does. But I'm going to say, I'm 30% chance it happens now. I'm just not. I thought for sure it was the only fight to make, and just hasn't came to fruition. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it may happen now. If it does happen, my guess is it'll be announced soon, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And I think I'm going to the San Antonio card. Who is headlining? Bad card to go to. It's looking pretty good, but it doesn't have a main event yet. But hopefully it gets a good card. Show us your dog. My dog has been on the channel before, live and in the flesh. But I'll show you a picture of what he looks like. The OGs of the channel now. Let's see. Where do I got a picture of him? This is my dog right here. There you go. That's my dog. As a puppy, I held him up on stream before on the channel. If I knew exactly where, I would go find it. But I don't know if I could find it. Let me see real quick. I think I might know off the top of my head, to be honest. Let me take a look. I think it might be this stream. Let's see if I can find it. I'll put it up on stream if I can find it. I don't think it is. Must not be. Yeah, I don't think it is. I held him up on one stream, but I could literally pick him up and hold him up on stream before. But I don't see him in that stream, so it must not be it. Okay, where was I at now? Because Earth Rocker wants me to show him my dog. All right, where was I at? Now I lost my spot. Wish Stipe would fight Curtis or Pavlovich for co-main at 285. Agreed. When's the last UFC event you went to in person? Overeem versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck. Joe, if you ever go to a UFC event, you should do like a vlog for the channel. That would be awesome. I'll think about it. I might do that. I don't know. That's the other thing. Now I'm dreading if I ever go to an event. So how am I supposed to like take all my stuff and have a setup in a hotel room? I got all these lights and I got this microphone. Like I need a travel setup and I just don't have that ability right now. So how am I going to cover the event and talk about the event on my YouTube channel without having a legit setup? And then I'm scared if I take my camera, what if it gets lost, you know? O'Malley may be a bit annoying. His coach, Tim Walsh, is a complete imbecile. It's one thing to be dumb and realize you're dumb. It's another thing to be dumb and think you're smart. Yeah, a lot of people are dumb and think they're the smartest people in the room. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. What's up, Joey? What's going on? Brendan, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream. Arm itches. I just can't see Jones coming back after 3 years, gaining 60 pounds. Is going to be the same fighter. I agree. It's going to be very interesting to see what he looks like. Hey, Joey, what's a sleeper fight from last year, and what's your favorite fight of recent? Sleeper fight of last year? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a fight that no one else will mention. I'll say a fight that I really enjoyed from, I think this was, let me double check and make sure this was last year. Let me just double check. This might not even be from last year. No, it wasn't. It was from December of 2021. What was a sleeper fight from last year? Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. My favorite fight of recent was Yuri Glover. Sean is in a weird spot, in my opinion. Do you give him to Rob? What do you do with Sean? Sean seems like he's waiting it out. Does Francis and Stipe's absent make the heavyweight championship have an asterisk next to it? Stipe, no. Francis, yes. Joey, I was watching your video about Francis, and you said how it shouldn't matter. He has no personality. This isn't WWE. I just realized how much MMA fans take character into account. Yeah, they'll pretend like a fight is better because somebody has a personality, a character personality. It makes the fight no better or worse. It can make the build-up more fun, and that's it. But people be like, oh, this guy doesn't have any personality. Who gives a shit? He knocks dudes dead. He knocks guys dead. That's what I like to see. If Hamzat doesn't fight Colby, could you see him, the UFC, give him a title shot against the winner of Leon Usman? I think he'll fight Bilal or something. But it could be possible. You're putting too much faith in Jones. Dude looked like trash in his last two fights. Okay. Joey, thoughts on Bellator Lightweight Grand Prix? Check out the participants. Not bad for Bellator, if you ask me. I think it's really solid, and I'm really looking forward to it. Usman Nurmagomedov. Or Umar Nurmagomedov. No, Usman. I was right the first time. Always get those two mixed up. Benson Henderson. I'm trying to remember all off the top of my head. AJ McKee. Patricky Pitbull. It's a solid, solid tournament. When Hamzat retires, what will the Kevin Holland win mean on his resume? Nothing. Kevin Holland isn't even that good. I don't know why people think he's so good. He lost to Wonderboy, an aging Wonderboy. How would O'Malley versus Munoz go right now, part 2? I think I picked O'Malley to win via decision in the first one. So I picked O'Malley to win via decision in the second one. Joe, your favorite retired fighters include Aldo Silva, Habib, anyone else? That's probably the list right there. That's probably the list right there. There's probably other ones, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Would you pay for a PFL pay-per-view if Francis headlined it? I'd think about it for like $20. But it all matters who the opponent is. I mean, that's the thing. That's why Francis is taking a massive gamble. Joey, give us your best MMA fighter impression. The best I can do is Bryce Mitchell. Flat Earth. I love NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Jr. NASCAR propane. Flat Earth. I had the flu, and that's why I lost to Billy Taporian. That's the best I got. Yeah, we need more Joey vlogs. You need more. You never gotten one. How would Charles versus Arman go? That'd be very interesting. I think Charles will win in the striking. I know it's probably been said in the stream already, but I'll say it again. Everyone glad to see Francis go as a spoiled fan who should go watch WWE. Agreed. If you're happy to see Francis go, then you're a piece of shit idiot and an embarrassment to the MMA community. If you're happy to see Francis Ngannou go, you're not a real MMA fan. What's a finish we will see this year that we've not seen yet? Maybe a ground and pound transition to strangling, choking sub. I have no idea. I have no idea what's a finish we'll see this year that we haven't seen yet. When do you think Conor versus Chandler will take place? How big? I'll say July or August if it happens. Can you go through the top 10 and say who Umar beats? Jeez Louise. Come on, man. Can't give me questions this hard. I'll say he beats O'Malley, loses to Jan, loses to Marab, beats Marlon Vera, beats Sandhagen, beats Rob Font, beats Cruz. Song Yadong will be very interesting. He beats Pedro and beats Ricky Simone. There you go. Off the top of my head, don't hold me to them. Knocking people out cold is enough personality for me. Exactly. Is enough. It's plenty personality for me. How would Curtis versus Cannonier go? I don't know. Honestly, I've never even thought of that matchup. Cannonier just hasn't looked good lately, but he's still one of the best, and he doesn't get hit particularly. And Curtis is super durable, so even if he does get hit, it probably goes to decision. I'll say it's a close decision, and I'll give it to Curtis. I like guys with personality, but when you don't have a personality, I don't even notice. I'm just trying to watch some fights. Agreed. What do you mean Francis looked like shit? Francis flatlined the GOAT heavyweight in 2 rounds and beat one of the best heavyweights with a very hurt knee. Y'all are tripping. Exactly. Can you rank UFC, Bellator, 1FC, and PFL? PFL's last. UFC is first. And I haven't seen enough one championship to rank them above or below Bellator. But I'll say they're above Bellator. So UFC, 1FC, Bellator, then PFL. GSP isn't your favorite. What? GSP isn't your favorite retired fighters list? See, he was, but he cherry picked Michael Bisping. So that's why he's not on the list anymore. He cherry picked Bisping to win a title and then retired afterwards. Seems Rockhold wants to come back again. Thoughts on who would you pair him up against? Who would I pair him up against? I don't think he should come back. Pair him up against Sean Strickland. He was supposed to fight Sean Strickland at one point in time. Pair him up. Joey, excited about the new Last of Us show? Yes, I want to go watch it tonight, hopefully. Bryce Mitchell, LOL. Yeah. Got more people in the live chat. Let's go. Yeah. Yep. How much do you think they paid Strickland? I'll say they paid Strickland a total of $300K. I'll say they paid him $300K. Luke is definitely on Brendan Schaub's intellectual all-stars. Yesterday, the whole MMA world got shook up. That it did. Joey, do you think Jones' finish is gone? I'm going to say no. He does not. If Zabit comes back, who should be first? His first fight? Yair. Regardless if Yair wins or loses. Ciryl is a good fight, but man, Francis is one of the scariest fighters ever in the UFC. Exactly. If people say Umar is boring, now they're tripping. I hope to see more striking-oriented Dagestanis. We'll see if people hate him for wrestling. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see, when you have guys like Zabit and Umar, who were strikers primarily, if people still hate them as much. Okay. Ciryl is a good fight, but man, okay, read that. Bro, what's up, Brendan? Answering his own question. I'm happy Francis is gone because he gets the heavyweight title shot. And dude, chill out. People can be happy Francis is gone. Chill out. People can be happy Francis is gone. Not everyone is okay with one title since every year and a half. Yeah, but that's not even accurate though. It's not accurate, Jungle. Um, the only reasons he was inactive the 2 years prior is because the UFC. The UFC made him inactive the other 2 years. When Stipe was champion, he was only defending once a year. So it happened for like 4 years under Stipe, but nobody complained about that. I think if you're happy that Francis is gone, you're not an MMA fan. He was so much fun to watch. I'm happy Francis is gone because my favorite heavyweight gets a title shot. And dude, chill out. I'm happy. Oh, I say what you said. I didn't even read that first part. I mean, you could be happy your favorite fighter got a shot, but to be happy one of the best heavyweights is gone. That's crazy to me. How does Blades versus Pavlovich go? I think Blades probably out wrestles him. I think Blades out wrestles him probably. It also seems they might just give Stipe the winner. I hope they don't give Stipe the winner. That'll make an even worse situation. If Jones wins the belt, defends Blades, Pavlovich, Aspinall, and Stipe, he's the go-to heavyweight. I mean, even if he wins the belt and just defends once. Same, I want to go watch that show. Is Stipe getting the next title shot? No, I don't believe he will. Strickland's disclosed earnings were $310 last night. Wouldn't surprise me. If you got a hold of UFC banking information, how much money do you think you would see? Hundreds of millions? I have no clue. Most companies that have millions upon millions usually have them distributed over multiple bank accounts. So who knows? Who has a better striking, Umar or Usman Nurmagomedov? I'll say Usman, but it's close. I'm not mad about Francis leaving. I'm not saying you need to be mad, but to be happy and applaud it, I think it's crazy. Zabit versus Holloway, please, MMA gods, make it happen. That'd be crazy for Zabit's return. They once again fumbled one of the biggest fights in UFC history. Yeah, it's true. I'm happy he's gone because he gets paid, not for any other reason. Yeah, I don't even know if that makes sense. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're happy that he gets paid. Okay, that's fair enough, I guess. But you still shouldn't be happy he's gone, though. I like your MMA analysis, Joey. It's fair and balanced. I hope you continue to be that way and don't become biased for the UFC or any other organization. I appreciate the compliment. That will never happen. You will never see that from me, regardless of anything. But I'm glad you appreciate what I'm doing now, and you can tell that I try to be unbiased. Because there's a lot of super biased media in the MMA landscape, which has been an inspiration for starting a YouTube channel. Haha, Joey's Bryce impression, haha. Dale Earnhardt Jr., I like NASCAR. Road is flat. 8-fight deal for Jon Jones seems like a bit too much even for Jon Jones. I guess they're offering him something he couldn't refuse. But that's what they always do. They can cut him at any point in time. They don't have to pay him. Do you think Curtis Blades is even a harder matchup for Jones than Gane? Yeah. Just because of the threat of the grappling. But also, Curtis Blades has nasty power, too. So I'll say yes. Of course, he's not going to fight out the deal. Well, the thing is with these long-term deals, the UFC likes to sign these guys to long-term deals because what happens is the UFC can cut them at any point in time. And the fighter is locked into that deal for now 8 fights. So if they perform and they become a massive star, then they're making the UFC more money, and there you go. But if they're falling off a cliff and nobody cares anymore, they can cut them. Seriously, he's going to make more money fighting Fury in a loss than his entire UFC career and a loss to Tyson Fury. Give me a break. F you kind of money. Well, that's what I said in my video. He's hoping to do one boxing fight and make more than he would make in like 6 or 7 UFC fights. So why not? Stipe embarrassed himself with that garbage tweet. Came out of hiding at the fire department after Francis leaves. Yeah, dude, Stipe Miocic did embarrass himself. I agree 100% on that. I mean, you're begging for a title shot. You haven't fought since what? March of 2021, right? Jeez Louise. Am I mistaken on that? No, wait. No, that was March of 2021, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Yup, March of 2021. Yeah, UFC 260. It's been 23 events since Stipe Miocic has fought. How does Usman Nurmagomedov go against Arman and Gamrot? Oh man, that's a tough question. That's a very tough question. I'll say he beats them both striking, but that's a tough fight to pick. Just off the top of my head, that's what I'm going with. I hope Francis gets a Fury fight, gets a big payday, and can stick it to the UFC. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. He makes money, and the only people that really lose is us. But you can't wish a downfall of another man. You look at Pavlovic's last 3 fights, they are fat guys. To be honest, I don't see the hype just yet. Personally, I think he loses to Blake. Dude, Pavlovich doesn't have great grappling defense, and he also doesn't throw any kicks ever. Who can you see Jared Cannonier fight next, and how many wins is he away from another title shot? He needs at least like 3 or 4 wins. But who knows, because Pereira's the new champion, if Pereira can hold on to that belt. But I see Jared Cannonier fighting like maybe a Paulo Costa. They had that booked at one point in time. Or maybe a winner of Vettori versus Delize. I doubt that, though. Maybe Jack Hermanson round 2. Let's say you're PFL and you sign Francis. What free agent would you bring in to fight Francis? That's the thing. There is nobody, really. So it's going to be tough to do that. Zabit versus Topuria. I'd love to see that. Really, they pay them dog shit for what they make. I'm the fighter, not the UFC brass. I'll never agree with the boss over the worker making the boss money. I'm with you, Greg. And the people going out there, and I had multiple people comment on my video and say this. UFC 270 only sold 200K pay-per-view buys. There is not one credible source that has asserted that is just made up, that's completely false. And even if that were true, you know what $80 times 200K is? It's almost $15 million. And then that's not even including ad revenue. That's not include ticket sales. So even on 200K pay-per-view buys, which I believe is incorrect and completely made up, you're talking what, 30 million, 40 million? You're telling me Francis Ngannou can't make 5 of that? Can't make 5? It's just ridiculous. Also, could you imagine how Jake is going to be if Francis signs with PFL? Book Francis versus Jake. That's the biggest fight PFL could make right now. On the cusp of Umar's win, check out the Joey's video on Dagestanis. And if the hate they receive is justified. One of the best videos on the channel. Thank you, Benji. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for shouting out that video. I just put that out not that long ago, to be honest. Did you enjoy Santos versus Jones? Wasn't the greatest fight I've ever seen, but wasn't the worst. It was good. Those numbers at 200K, there's no credible sources. Yeah, they have to be fake. Somebody commented, they're real, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, send me a credible source. There is none. Somebody made that up at some point in time. And, some bullshit clickbait Twitter or Instagram made that shit up. And people ran with it for some reason. And people are still regurgitating. I've seen it all day on Twitter. People are idiots. If you're saying that 200K pay-per-view buy number and you have no evidence, then you're an idiot. Lauren Murphy is another one of the Josh Emmett category of fighters who no one gives a shit about. That is true. Dana can't slap Francis around. That is true. What's your take on Askren Lawler? I thought Lawler was fine. But it did look suspect. Francis probably knew he was leaving when Dana didn't slap the belt around him. That is true. That is true. Goodbye, Francis Ngannou. You know what's crazy to me? That's wild when you think about it. Let me just double check this and make sure I'm not crazy. I only had the channel for one Francis Ngannou fight. Francis Ngannou only fought once since I had the channel. That's crazy. Stipe hasn't fought with Venom shorts. That is crazy. More interviews if possible, Joey. Hopefully more MMA fighters will recognize your work. That's the plan for this year. What sells more, Jones versus Stipe or Jones Gane? Probably Jones Gane, I would say. Stipe's irrelevant at this point. Blades doesn't have champ experience like Gane or Jones. Okay. I'm casual. Sorry. Y'all seen that Russian show, Epic Fighting Championship? Is it real? I have not seen that. Who do you think Umar will fight next? Probably Ricky Simone. I think you were right in some way. I wouldn't say I'm happy Francis is gone. I wish he was more active, and I wish they would. Nothing but success and a big payday against Fury. Nothing personal. Fair enough. Fair enough, my friend. But the inactivity for 2 of those years was not his fault. I talked about it in my recent video. If you haven't watched it, just check it out after the stream. The real reason Francis Ngannou left the UFC, which was a damn good title if you ask me. And I answer it in the first 5 minutes of a 22-minute video. So it's not like I'm going on forever and not answer. The real reason he left is because he believes he can get paid more elsewhere, which is pretty obvious. But it's just a good title in general. People are trying to overcomplicate the situation, okay? They're overcomplicating the situation. But I break down every aspect of the Francis Ngannou situation in that video. It's one of my better videos. We French need a champion, and Gane is the guy to do it. May very well be. May very well be. Imagine Zabit coming back. Now my thing jumped all the way down. Imagine Zabit coming back to 5 rounds cardio, with 5-round cardio. That would be crazy. Who wins, Strickland or Costa? Costa. He's too big, too strong. I'm hoping ESPN doesn't renew that pay-per-view deal, so hopefully UFC can take back over and slowly lower the price here and there. You think that's going to happen? You think the UFC is going to lower price? That ain't ever happening, my friend. That ain't ever happening. UFC lowering price. That's one of the funnier things I've heard. Yeah, I hope they take over and lower the price too. I mean, I'm not making fun of you or anything. It's just not going to happen, my friend. Guys, do me a favor. If you have not liked the stream yet, run up the likes on the stream. Click the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Help support the channel. Also, subscribe to the channel. I do streams like this multiple times a week. So if you like these types of streams where we talk about all the latest MMA news, why not subscribe to the channel? My nose is itching like crazy right now. Yeah, if Zabit had 5-round cardio, back to that, that'd be insanity. Costa 85-15, I would agree with that assessment. UFC, I must be the king of predicting Sean Strickland fights at this point. I've never predicted a Sean Strickland fight wrong since I had the channel. I'm almost hoping ESPN doesn't renew. Okay, read that. If ESPN keeps going the way the pay-per-view is going to be 100 in 2027, wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at this point. It's already $85 if you include tax right now. What's next for Gane if he loses to Jones? 2 failed title shots already. Back to the drawing board. But the heavyweight division isn't particularly stacked. He'd be 1 or 2 fights away from another title shot. Joey, I love the fact you don't let these Dana simps off the hook. Yeah, there's so many Dana White simps out there. I can't believe it. It's an embarrassment, actually. If UFC 250 did 85 Nunes versus Spencer, who said that? That actually wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, if you have a legitimate source, UFC heavyweight division is a joke. It's always been one of the worst divisions. That's crazy. What are you referencing there? So that is pretty crazy, I guess. I think about that we get to see Jones in the new Venom gear. That is true. How much do you think they pay Conor? Just curious, to be somewhere near in the 20s. I don't know. For his next fight, I'm not sure. I know for like the second DS fight, he made like $3 million. But there's probably extras on top of that. I would say 10 to 15 million. Do you think we see McGregor? Do you think we see McGregor in the summer? Probably August or September. Hi, Joey. I think Francis is going to fail when he tries to test the waters. Okay. I'm still confused on what exactly Francis wants on his contract. We don't know. The UFC could have just been offered him lowballing him. I know they said we offered him to be the highest paid heavyweight ever, blah, blah, blah. I don't necessarily believe that, but you never know. You never know. Stipe really goes to the UFC for 2 years and trying to walk back in like nothing happened. Yes. What would be a good fight for next fight for Strickland? I would try, if I was him, I'd try to fight Derek Brunson, but Derek Brunson's got to fight with Dricus. If I was him, I'd try to fight the winner of Dricus versus Brunson. That's a good fight for him. Stipe, okay, read that. Costa versus Strickland. What do you think about that, Joe? I think Costa would win. Too powerful. Volume would probably win. Big, strong. How do you feel if you ask Strickland a question and he just calls you ugly? Like, bro. If that happened to me, I would say I would call him ugly. I mean, I don't know. I would be like, you know, I'm glad you're judging another man's looks. So, Joey, do you think Jones will have ring rust? It's always possible. You never know. What's next for Jones if he loses his long-awaited return? Certainly wouldn't look good. What's next for Jones if he lose? That would be crazy if he does lose, which he very may well lose. Fight. They'll probably give him some bum heavyweight to beat up. Something big, maybe like Derek Lewis. I'm fed up with ESPN Plus. Bring back Spike TV. F it. Yes. Dana is 53 and acts 24. That he does. Venom or Reebok Venom. By the end of 2023, we will be paying $100 for pay-per-view. Wouldn't surprise me. Any chance Patty gets put on the London card? Apparently he's getting surgery. The one Ngannou fight since the start of the channel. That is crazy, yes. Have you seen the news? Conor McGregor is gay. Yeah, I saw the news. With no sports going on in 2020, how much pay-per-view buys would a Jorge versus Conor do? I say a couple mil. Like, maybe like 2 mil. Under the Habib fight. People sleep on Chandler's skill. He could be a champ. He gets excited in his fights and makes mistakes. He looked good against Poirier up until the finish. I mean, just he has to get you out of there. So, and he can't sometimes. So then he loses. Picos, can you do a Justin Fiziev breakdown video? Believe it or not, I've already done it. It's just not released yet, and it will be released at the end of this stream. At the end of this stream, I will release that video. I think Strickland would beat Costa, to be honest. Cannonier also was more strong than Strickland, but Strickland arguably beat him. That is true. I just think Costa's more volume would get the job done. If Jones loses his heavyweight debut, we'll have to wait another 3 years for him to go back down to 205. I hope not. I feel like Strickland's style would be interesting versus Robert. Nah, I think Robert would win that one. Dude probably did get offered to be the highest paid heavyweight, and that's not saying much. He probably got offered like 2 mil. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. It's weird how Dana said Leon and Usman is fighting in March, but the UFC hasn't said anything on social media. They haven't? I thought they did. I thought they did put that out on social media. Speaking of social media, guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I put all my early opinions out on there. Go follow me at MMA Joey C. Right there. Boom. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I would greatly appreciate that. If you guys would go do that. Do you want to see Conor versus Jorge for Conor's return? That'd be fun. If Jones loses, any chance he'll cut the weight back off? No. I don't think so, but it's possible. If Jones loses, he fights Steve. We'll have to see what he weighs in at first. If Jones loses, he fights Stipe Miocic. That could be a possibility. That'd be an interesting fight. I've been telling you guys for like 6 months now that I already thought Jon Jones had a deal in place. The way he was talking, the way the UFC was talking. And sure enough, that was right. That was accurate. I've told you guys that in multiple videos. Do you think there's a real chance we get O'Malley, Henry Cejudo for the co-main event at UFC 285? Yes, I do believe there's a real chance. I don't think it's super likely, but I would say like 25% chance. Bring back Coked Up Jones and Cyril's done for. That is true. It's weird how Dana said Leon. Okay, read that already. Yeah. Yep. It is. I thought they did. Are you sure they didn't? Let me take a look. I thought they posted it. So annoying. Yeah, maybe they posted it on Twitter or something. I don't know. I just checked Instagram. But I don't know. I don't know. I swear I saw it somewhere. I mean, Dana announced it anyway, but it is weird they haven't posted anything. Yeah, they announced it. The UFC posted it. The UFC posted it on their Twitter, just not their Instagram yet. I think people may be overlooking Gane. That is true. They may very well be. Henry's not that great of a wrestler when it comes to MMA. I mean, he's pretty good. Aljo beats Henry. I disagree. I pray DC interviews Jones in the octagon after that fight. That would be very interesting. What team does Jones train with now? I'm not sure. I am not sure at all. I think he's training with Henry Cejudo, whatever team that's at. Whatever team that is. If Gaethje had trouble kicking Charles' legs, imagine how much he's going to struggle with Fiziev with counter leg kicks Gaethje throws. Who will counter every leg kick Gaethje throws. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting fight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not even going to get into it because I got a whole video. I got a whole video breaking it down. If Jones wins, we get DC Jones 3 at heavyweight. No. Valentina versus Nunes co-main of 285 is what we need. I wouldn't mind that. That way that's not a main event. Do you think Vegas will defeat Jones before 8? Oh, don't even bring that up. I hope not. That could ruin the entire card. Jon Jones gets arrested. I feel that if DC did interview Jones post-fight, they probably hug or something like that. Probably. Jones is so big now, I wonder if he can fit under the octagon. He probably can. Leon Edwards will rise to the occasion once again. We'll see. Imagine if Jones wins and DC comes back to fight him at heavyweight. DC's not coming back. DC would have to fight at like super heavyweight now. Hey Joey, I like your watch. What kind is it? It's the Apple Ultra watch. I actually just got it. Would O'Malley versus Henry be for the interim fight? And if that fight happens, wouldn't the backup be Corey versus Cheeto? I thought winner of the fight would fight winner of Sean Sterling. Would O'Malley versus Henry be for an interim belt? Yes. And if that fight happens, would the backup the winner of Corey Cheeto? No, I think if somebody O'Malley Henry fell out, I think they would just wait for Aljamain. Whoever wasn't injured. I think O'Malley would fight Henry. Winner would fight Aljamain in the summer, most likely. I think Aljo versus Henry fight at 287 because it's going to be in New York and Aljo wants to fight there. Yeah, but Aljo doesn't always get what he wants. It seems. O'Malley versus Cheeto is the only thing that makes sense to me. I agree. I said this recently in a video as well. The UFC's missing the mark with that one. How does TKZ versus Barboza go? I don't trust TKZ to get anything done anymore, so I go Barboza. DC probably couldn't even make heavyweight at this point. You're probably right. If Jones loses, DC can tell Jon Jones, tell him, Dana White, John, not everyone can be double champ. Oh, I see. That is true. Other than 3 or so fighters, women's flyweight is so dry and boring. Women's bantamweight is garbage. Women's featherweight is non-existent. So I agree. They could make the Titan weight for DC if he came back. He's always snacking on commentary. Okay. Yeah, he's probably like 300 by now, I would think. Wait, Jones trains with Henry and the team over there? Yeah, I believe so. I have the same Apple Ultra watch, same band, love it. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet. I like how you noticed the band too. It's the Trail Band, I think it's called. I got it because I hate, when I'm doing stuff, I hate carrying around my phone. So I figured I'd get a watch. I usually don't wear a watch. This is my first smartwatch. But it makes things convenient when you don't have your phone and stuff like that. I can't lie. It's so surreal seeing O'Malley against Sterling or Cejudo being a real possibility. That is crazy. DC's also in his mid-40s. That is very true as well. Yeah, DC's never coming back. DC really living that retirement life. I seen Maurice Jones-Drew the other day on a broadcast. And I can't believe how big he is now. He is a massive. And he used to be straight up jacked. when he was playing football. Maurice Jones-Drew. Yeah, he's huge now. I remember when he used to be jacked as a running back. But now I'm trying to find NFL Network. Yeah, he's humongous. Like, I'm not saying he's fat or anything, but he's just thick as hell now compared to like he was just straight up muscular and jacked before. I seen like a clip of him online the other day. It's crazy. Is Merab going to be lurking in the corners until Aljo moves up? Probably. Do you think they give TKZ a fun fight for his final fight, or did they give him Frankie Edgar treatment and give him an up and comer? Probably giving him an up and comer. Do you think? Okay, read that. Merab should. They're probably going to build someone's name off TKZ. Merab should move down instead of Aljo moving up because Aljo's 1 or 2 title defenses away from being bantamweight GOAT. Yeah, I don't even like Merab at all. I feel like he should just retire. I feel like giving Jones a title shot is a risky plan. Jones is such a loose cannon. At one point, Dana White said Jon Jones will never headline a pay-per-view again. And then, sure enough, he did. DC's all about that. Okay. Jones-Drew is built like a truck. That he is. Jason Herzog sounded like the dumbest ref I ever heard in my life yesterday. Yeah. Saying, oh, the glove this, the glove that. Dude, you're an idiot. It's not illegal for the glove to go in the eye. It is not illegal for the glove to go in the eye. You should have resumed the fight. And you're warning a guy for the glove going in the eye? Joey's lost thinking Jones has a chance, okay? Wow, Ravens are such idiots. What happened? Let me know what happened. I'm going to tune in after I get off stream. Merab ain't making 125, I agree. He's like 5'8", 250 pounds. I know. Yo, I didn't see him in a long while. Up until the other day, I saw a clip of him. Yo, Joey, Leon knocks Usman again. It's normal altitude. Okay. Would you rather be a UFC ref or judge? I'd rather be neither. But if I had to choose, I'd rather be a judge. I will put money on Gane. Fair enough. Who's your top 5 GOATs? And is DJ in there? Yes. Jon Jones, Anderson Silva, GSP, DJ, and Jose Aldo. I don't know. Next time you have Curtis on, can you ask, is fighting better than getting your dick wet quoting Strickland? What did Strickland say? But yes, I'll ask him, sure. You saw Jones as an underdog against Gane. Vegas is bugging. That's crazy. Yeah, somebody said that earlier. Dan Mergliotta is probably the best ref now, seeing as Herzog is now on the shit list. I just don't understand. How are you going to say, oh, it was the glove that went in the eye? And then keep the... I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, craziness. But Herb Dean used to be the best, believe it or not. When I first started watching, Herb Dean was the best referee. The best ref in the business. So Ravens were at the 1-yard line. Their QB tried to sneak in, fumbled, and Cincy returned it 99 yards for a TD. You're kidding me. That's crazy. I'm about to go tune in here in a little bit. Everyone's talking about the altitude, but no one's talking about the fact Usman only had 7 months to recover from his chin getting cracked. That is true. Francis is going to have to make some crazy money elsewhere. It's crazy how little the UFC pays its fighters. Francis is going to have the sponsorship money. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're going to find out. If he makes a bunch of money, it's going to inspire other fighters to do the same, to try to fight out their contracts and go elsewhere. But if he fails and doesn't make anywhere close to what he would have made in the UFC, it'll be one of those things that people look back on and say, oh, he made a terrible decision. Herb just gets touchy these days. He must be feeling romantical. Yeah, I mean, he's super indecisive. Herb Dean is one of the most indecisive refs I've ever seen. Indecisive refs I've ever seen. He's constantly looks like he's jumping in for a stoppage, then he jumps out. But yeah, I hate Herb Dean nowadays. Most of the refs are garbage, it seems like. But anyway, guys, we did an hour and a half stream. You are going to be the first to see a new video. I'm going to post the link in the chat for an unlisted video, but I'm going to list it right this very second. But you guys are going to be the first to see it. Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev. I give my reaction and my early prediction. You guys, need you guys to boost it in the algorithm. I need you to like it, comment on it, watch it all the way to the end. And I would greatly appreciate it. I'm posting it in the chat right now, guys. Boom. You guys are the first to see it. Go comment on it. Boost it in the algorithm. Watch it all the way to the end. Like it. There you go. Whoever asked for the Gaethje versus Fiziev video, there you have it. It is out now on the channel. So go check that out. Appreciate you guys for joining me for this stream. Bunch of UFC 283 content coming soon. Bunch of streams for sure this week. And I don't know what else you want from me. Go check out my Francis Ngannou content, my Ciryl Gane, Jon Jones content. Everything. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards 3 content. And now Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev, and my UFC Vegas 67 post-fight is on the channel. So, and you got this whole stream to watch back as well if you weren't here for the whole stream. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the stream. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Appreciate every single one of you, and good night.